A little girl in the Philippines is told, "Don't stay too long in the sun, you'll get dark." She's told, "Speak English, you will sound smarter." She's told, "You're pretty, but sayang, if only you had whiter skin." That little girl grows up. She becomes the Filipina you meet today, strong, resilient, charming. But behind her confidence is a quiet battle you may never see, a battle shaped by centuries of colonization. And it still defines how many Filipinas see themselves, their worth, and even their relationships. So, this is the story of colonial mentality, and the silent mark it leaves in every Filipina. Let's talk real talk. And to begin with, let's tackle about the roots of colonial mentality. To understand Filipinas today, we need to go back in time. For over 300 years, the Philippines was under Spain. Then came 50 years of American rule. That's nearly 4 centuries of outsiders shaping beauty standards, education, and even social class. Under the Spanish, lighter skin and European features were glorified. Mestizas were celebrated in paintings, in society, even in marriage. And the dark skin, that was Indio, rural, inferior. Then the Americans reinforced it. English became the language of power and prestige. If you spoke English well, you were intelligence, inteligente. If not, no matter your wisdom, you were seen as less educated. Hollywood, media, and advertising flooded the Philippines with Western ideals of beauty and lifestyle. So this didn't just pass with time. It sank into family conversations, school classrooms, beauty contests, and the way parents raise their children. It's why whitening soaps are still everywhere. It is why English is often praised over Filipino. It is why many Filipinas grow up feeling they have to prove themselves by looking or sounding less Filipino. Terrible. So, secondly, self image struggles. Now, let's talk and look at how this plays out in everyday life. A Marina girl is told by her relatives, "You'd be prettier if you were lighter." Hmm. A provinciana is laughed at for her accent when she tries to speak Tagalog in Manila or English in front of city kids. This is very common issues here in Philippines, especially we are ladies from the province or living in the mountains, countrysides like that. Especially ladies or Filipinas living in the countryside or Mindanao who speak Bisaya. So when it's time for us to go to Luzon, who speaks different dialect, especially Tagalog, and we Visayan people usually have hard accent in speaking. So if we speak Tagalog, it's kind of funny to them and they will laugh at us. Aside from that, a woman avoids the sun not for health reasons, but for fear of getting too dark. That's why when you always being with Filipina, they scared of we are scared of getting under so much in the sun. We will be needing umbrellas, something like that to cover our skin. So even beauty pageants supposed to celebrate the Filipina often favor those with Eurocentric features. That's why in every pageant we always see that those who has foreigner blood always winning. So these comments may sound harmless, but they leave deep scars. Imagine hearing from childhood that your natural skin tone, your local accent, or even your heritage makes you less. And this isn't about vanity. It is about survival. Society tells Filipinas, lighten your skin, straighten your hair, polish your English, hide your roots if you want more respect, more opportunities, or even more love. Hmm. And so many Filipinas learn to live in two versions. One, who they really are, and the other one, who society tells them to be. That's why always matter to us what others people is telling. So number three is about impact on relationships. Colonial mentality doesn't stop at beauty or language. It deeply affects relationships, especially with foreigners. For many Filipinas, being chosen by a foreigner feels like a validation, not just because of romance, but because it's proof. If someone from the outside world values me, then maybe I am enough. But that validation often hides insecurity. For instance, some Filipinos downplay their provincial roots, afraid they'll be judged as too simple or too backward. And some keep quiet in disagreements, not because they are submissive, but because they doubt their English or feel their voice isn't as valid. Some constantly compare themselves to Western women, thinking they'll fall short in beauty or confidence. So these are the signs that we need to look at and be mindful if you are in a relationship with Filipinas, Filipino foreigner relationships. So here's the danger. Many foreigners misinterpret this. They think Filipinas are naturally shy, quiet, or easy to control. But in reality, she's carrying centuries of learn and inferiority, trying to balance being loved with proving she's enough. And sadly, some men exploit it. They feed on that insecurity, making her feel lucky to be chosen, instead of reminding her she's already worthy. Mhm. Based on my personal experience too. So, the hidden strength. But let me be clear, Filipinas are not defined by weakness. If anything, colonial mentality has revealed there's resilience, especially today, in today's generation. Because despite centuries of being told they're not enough, Filipinas rise anyway. You've seen many are claiming Morena beauty, proud to be brown, proud to be Filipino. Also, many excel internationally while still honoring their heritage. Many are raising children to embrace identity with pride, not shame. So, if you are always hearing why Filipinos have lots of kids, this is one of the reason, one of that raising kids to embrace that pride. Okay. So yeah, every Filipina who learns to love her natural skin, her accent, her roots, that's an act of defiance against colonial mentality. That's cultural revolution. So, expanded reflection before closing this episode of Real Talk. Here's something even more important. Colonial mentality doesn't only shape women, it shapes men too. It shapes families and it shapes the nation. Just think about it. When Filipinos question their worth because of their skin, their accent, or their background, it's not an individual insecurity. It's a reflection of how society as a whole measures value. Families repeat what colonizers once said. Media repeats it. Even schools reinforce it. So when a Filipino struggles with self-image, it's not because she's weak. It's because she's been carrying generations of voices that told her to be someone else. And yet, despite all of that, she still shows up strong, hardworking, and loving. And that is not insecurity. That is resilience dressed in silence. And here's when foreigners come in. Where foreigners come in, if you are in a relationship with a Filipina, you have the power to either reinforce those old colonial wounds or to help her break free from them. To see her not as someone who needs to be safe or fixed, but as someone who has always been enough, just as she is. So when you meet a Filipina, remember she's not just one woman. She's carrying history. If she struggles with self-image, it's not because she's insecure or shallow. It's because her people who were told for 400 years what beauty and worth should look like. And it was never her. But here's the truth. The Filipina doesn't need to be mestiza, Americanized, or upgraded to be valuable. She is enough as she is. And if you truly love her, see her beyond skin tone, accent, or background. Because once she steps out of those colonial shadows, you'll realize she is, and always has been, more powerful, more beautiful, and more worth it than the world ever told her to believe.